It's time to rank.
Xmas movies, Christmas movies.
Yay!
I'm a big films guy, as I've already said on
I'm not.
this channel, and I've seen over 1,000 movies in my life.
I've not.
And originally we were gonna do a top 10 Christmas list for both of us and just like compare.
But I haven't seen enough Christmas movies.
Yeah, really to make an adequate list. So I decided to make my list, and I know Noah's gonna disagree.
And
with
I will make fun of his list.
some of the choices, but it's my opinion, and I will forever.
Requirements
cherish
for
my
me are
opinion.
Elf has to be in the top 3. And Home Alone has to be in there somewhere.
Mm.
Top 5.
Well, we'll find out where they fall. I've specifically, not spoiled anything in conversation or anything recently to Noah, so that as to keep it more reactionary, so to speak. So we'll just dive right in. And first of all, I 3 movies before you ask that I have not seen that possibly could have been on this list had I seen them. In fact, you might even just text me at some point while you're editing this. I might even see some of these in the next few days because I haven't seen them yet. Black Christmas, the horror movie, is considered a really great movie. I haven't seen it. Joyeux Noël, the French Christmas movie about World War One. I haven't seen that either. And It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen either. So don't.
And Daddy's Home too.
Yeah, those 4. I haven't seen any of those. I might watch them in the next few days, and you could probably edit in if I have, and you could say like if they're honorable mentions or not. All right, so let's dive right in. Number 10 on my list is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Hey, isn't that whoa? Okay,
And my shirt.
I know Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is my number 10 from 1964.
I don't disagree with that. I don't love it. I don't hate it. But I've seen it.
Yeah, okay.
I
And
don't disagree with that.
my thoughts are on it is I watch it every year. I've already watched it this year. It's a cute movie. I mean, really, it is. There's nothing more to say about it other than it's a classic for rightful reasons.
Yeah.
The animation is pretty spectacular for the '60s.
Uh-huh.
The voice acting is
Is it
pretty
claymation
good.
or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. It's done pretty well. I always laugh at it, because it's fun to laugh at it. It's not like a perfect movie or
Yeah.
anything, but it's entertaining and it's.
And like the thing about those movies, it gives me like a weird feeling while I watch it. Like I feel like I'm like sick while I'm watching it. Like it's a movie I'd watch while I'm sick. I don't know. It just
Okay.
I get a weird feeling from it.
I mean, I could see that. It's like,
Like it's just old and like you can like tell it's old. Like I don't know.
yeah, it's quaint. That's
Yeah.
the perfect word to describe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I think my favorite part of the movie has got to be, I don't know actually. I'm gonna go through my favorite scene in every one of these. My favorite scene is possibly the beginning of the movie when it shows all like the clips of the news and stuff of the snowstorm.
Yeah.
Because that always freaked me out when I was little. And for those of you saying that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer should be banned from television because it's like bigoted,
Bullying.
I'm not gonna get any more political, but stop.
Yeah, it's not. If you're saying that he's getting made fun of, he's the hero in the end. So
Exactly. Moving on from there, number 9, we have A Christmas Story, which
I do not enjoy that movie that much. I don't love it. I'll agree with that. I like it more than Rudolph.
I like A Christmas Story. I know my grandma really likes it. It's like probably her favorite Christmas movie, and it makes sense because it takes place in the time when she grew up. So, it's a very, again, it's a cute movie. There's some really funny scenes in it. I don't love the entire thing. I think I have some problems with the pacing, but overall I enjoy it. What about you?
I watched it like 4 years ago or something. I didn't like it that much. I was like kind of thought like there's points of it that were just pointless.
Yeah.
And then like, some of it developed the plot. Like it seemed like a story that could be told in like 45 minutes.
That is a good point. I feel like that is kind of true. It would make for a better like TV special than a full length movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's good, and I'll probably watch it again at some point. I haven't watched it yet this year. My favorite scene from it is probably. Well, no, I think the best scene in the movie is definitely the Santa sequence in the mall.
Yeah, and then the slide.
that is really funny.
That's the only part I remember.
With him getting kicked down and like Santa's voice getting all warped, going oh, 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 and stuff like that. Like that's an evil Santa in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The slide would be cool though if that like actually existed.
yeah, that would be cool. Going up to at the top of like the mountain to see Santa and then sliding down a slide. That would be pretty cool.
Number 8.
Oh gosh.
8.
I am prepared for whatever verbal beating I will take as a result of this choice. But
Is it Die Hard?
number 8 is Elf.
You should shoot yourself. Like,
I knew-
what's wrong with
I knew
you?
it was gonna happen.
Everyone will agree with me. Everyone agrees with me. Elf is the best Christmas movie ever. I don't know what he's thinking. Why is it number 8? Well, I don't know. If Die Hard's ahead of that.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. Here's my reasoning for it. Okay, so this is the first movie on the list. I think all 8 movies from here. Hey, you might want to listen to this. All 8 movies from here on out, I love. I love all 8 movies from here on out. I think Elf, for me, is really funny. I think Will Ferrell gives probably the best performances in his entire career.
I would agree with that.
In this movie, he sells it so well. You can tell he like actually enjoyed filming this.
Dad!
The whole story and stuff in it, in the movie, is done really well. It's developed excellently. I think the scenes in the beginning, the first 30 minutes of Elf, possibly if we're just basing this on the first 30 minutes, I think it is better than Home Alone. I love the first half hour of Elf. I think the movie starts to kind of tumble a little bit in the third act, especially like what he mentioned earlier.
What,
with
the third
New York
act
Park
isn't an
Rangers.
hour long though.
No, I'm saying I like the second act a little bit. I think it's not as good as the first
The
act.
whole thing is great, and I love it.
James Caan, I think, is a little over the top sometimes
Who's that?
as the father.
No, I think he's good. I think it's perfect.
I like him, but I think he's a little over the top myself. I like the kid. I think I can't remember his name. Michael. He's funny. That's the scene with the snowballs. That's hilarious.
How did you do that?
So many of those scenes are classic. Here's the thing, okay?
I was in New York and I went to the spot in Central Park where the snowball fight
that's
happened.
cool. That's cool.
It was great.
You should take a picture.
I did.
Oh, put it on the video then.
I don't know, like, yeah,
you
I have a
have it.
picture on my phone somewhere.
Okay. And I think that's probably my favorite scene actually in the movie is that one.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite is in that movie. It might be that. I love the whole movie. I can't pick a favorite scene. I'm
Okay.
watching it tonight.
Cool. I'm probably
So.
gonna watch it soon. I think what else was I gonna say? Oh, it's not the best Christmas movie in my opinion, but it is the most quotable
Elf?
of any of them. Yes.
Yes.
Elf is the most quotable, I think, and we'll talk about which one's my favorite when we get to the number 1 spot. But anyways, moving on to number 7. I honestly actually might put Elf ahead of this now that I think about it. But number 7 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I love Christmas Vacation.
I don't.
I know you don't like it that much, but
I watched it a while ago, though, so, like, I need to watch it again.
mm-hmm.
But from what I remember, I did not like it that much.
Okay. All right, I think you probably should give it another chance. I think I watched it again this year, and it went down a little bit for me. I don't know why I put it number 7 if I didn't like it as much, but it's still a great movie. I still love it. Clark Griswold is so funny in it.
Like, I can say it's still, like, a classic movie.
Yeah, I mean it is a classic movie. It's one that people should watch, and I
Yeah.
love it. There are a lot of scenes in it that are really quotable and funny. Cousin Eddie is hilarious in it. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm bouncing.
Okay. And I think there's so many scenes in it that it both hits on the fact that there's satirical parts in it where you think that it's like kind of like making fun of the holiday and the glitz and glamour of it all. And then there's also scenes in it where it actually touches upon like the family aspect and stuff and how it everything in Christmas is worth it in the end and stuff like that. And I think that the poising of both of those two kind of like ideals in the movie works pretty well. My favorite scene in Christmas Vacation has got to be, well, just the whole dinner scene in its entirety is the best scene in the movie. I think there's so many lines that I say every year around Christmas time that are hilarious. My favorite being probably Uncle Lewis and his accidentally lighting the Christmas tree on fire with his cigar.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty funny. And the cat accidentally getting blown up underneath the chair. That's pretty morbid but funny as well. So yeah, Christmas Vacation is my number 7, and I like it.
Number 6.
Moving on from number 6 is a tie between two different movies.
Okay.
And they're related movies. And I have at number 6, we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966 and How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 2000. Both of the two good Grinch movies. Not the one that came out this year.
I just love the part where he looks at the camera and then he's like, and he looks really creepy. It's just iconic.
In both movies.
Yeah.
It's funny in both movies. And I know a lot of people might disagree with me for putting the 2000s Grinch with Jim Carrey tied with the original, but I think they're honestly pretty equal, in my opinion.
I still think Elf is better.
Yeah. I do think, okay, I might change Elf and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation now that I think about it, but I'm gonna put How the Grinch Stole Christmas ahead of Elf, because I think the anti-hero thing works really well in both movies. I think Jim Carrey in the 2000s one is excellent. Like, even if you don't like that movie, you have to admit the mise-en-scène of that entire movie, the lighting, the sets, the makeup effects, the cinematography is excellent, and it really looks like a good movie, and it's got Ron Howard's touch all over it, which is excellent in my opinion. So have you seen the Jim Carrey one recently?
I've not watched it.
You should, because there are some dumb moments in it, but it's kind of a nostalgic movie.
Lots of these movies have really stupid things in them, some dumb things. I remember on Christmas Vacation, there's that girl. I think it doesn't advance the plot at all. I don't, from what I remember.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of pointless.
And
it made a dumb Jimmy Buffett song, a Christmas song. I just no. Yeah. Okay, number 5.
All right. Okay. So, anyways, to wrap up my thoughts on the Grinch.
Oh.
The original, the animation's great in it. Boris Karloff is fantastic as the Grinch. He gives a really good voice performance. I love the songs in the original too. And the 2000s one, hate on it all you want, but it's my opinion, and I like it, and I watch it every year. So moving on. And my favorite scene from the original is the songs, and my favorite scene from 2000s Grinch is probably the scene where he talks about his schedule. Is hilarious. I think Jim Carrey improvised the entire scene, and it's excellent.
You know what else was improvised? Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Wait, that actually was?
That was improvised.
Really?
Yeah, it was improvised.
Okay. Also, side note, I still haven't seen Infinity War.
Number 5.
Burger King. This is where my list starts to get a little bit controversial. So, I'm not going to waste any more time. Number 5 on my list is Gremlins, which is a Christmas movie. Have you seen Gremlins? It's a classic, and it's a great movie. It's a horror comedy, and it's very funny, as well as being appropriate for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you?
It's above Elf.
Uh-huh, because it's a better movie, in my opinion. I think the second act of this movie is not paced the best, but everything else about it is hilarious. I think the effects are great for the time. There's one scene in particular involving a bulldozer that is extremely funny and makes me laugh every time.
Why do you like a movie about these little dudes that look like raisins, and it's a horror movie?
Because it's funny. The fact that everything is played with a straight face in that movie makes it even funnier than if everything was stupid and they were aware that it was stupid. Which is why a movie that I'll mention later is not on the list and it's just an honorable mention.
Did you put Home Alone? Honorable mention.
No, I'm not mentioning anything at this
You
point.
did, and you're gonna
We're
die.
only talking about the movies that I've mentioned already, and Gremlins is a great movie. The Christmas thing makes it even better, in my opinion. I could probably watch it any other time of year and still love it, and it's a Christmas movie, so
Yeah, because it's controversially, it could not be a Christmas movie.
But it is, because
if you could watch it any other time of the year, I could consider it not a Christmas movie. Because I could not watch Elf when it's not Christmas time.
I could
not do that.
I would still think it's funny.
There's movies that make you feel like it's Christmas time. And if there's a movie that you feel like you could just watch whenever, I wouldn't consider that a Christmas movie.
That's a solid reasoning, but I just mentioned that I could watch Elf at any time, so.
Yeah, well, I couldn't, so.
It's all personal opinion, as this list proves. And like I said before, my favorite scene is definitely the bulldozer scene, which is hilarious. Moving on from there, my number 4 is another movie that actually came out the exact same year as Gremlins. It's the George C. Scott Christmas Carol.
That's a Christmas movie.
My favorite adaptation of the Christmas Carol, because I think a lot of people laugh at this movie now, like that are my age, and say that it looks dated and like the effects are dumb and stuff. And we even watched it in 6th grade as a part of our unit on Christmas Carol, and people were laughing, but it's not like, I think it just showed people's immaturity back then, because you have to go into it knowing that the effects of a 1984 movie that was made for TV are not going to be the best. But it's the acting that really sells this movie for me. George C. Scott is one of my favorite actors. He plays a fantastic Scrooge, and just the way he acts at the end when he's like, when it's all over and he's he's not a miser anymore. The way he performs those scenes are fantastic. Have you seen this movie or any adaptations?
I think I've seen it. It was okay. I haven't seen it, from what I've seen, I do not remember it.
Okay.
At all.
It's considered to be, by a lot of people, like the best adaptation, recently. A lot of people say, the 1940s ones are the best. I haven't seen any of those, so.
Yeah. I haven't either.
So yeah, my favorite scene in this one, there are really a lot of, horrible, lines that he gives, like things that he says that are just mean, and a lot of them are very quotable. One of them being I can't remember exactly what he says, but he talks about how all the poor people in London should be sent up and put into camps and stuff like that, really horrible things like that. And just the way that George C. Scott delivers those lines is probably my favorite part of the movie. All right, moving on to number 3. A movie that I guarantee you've never heard of in your entire life. I watch it every year, and don't hate on me for putting it this high, because I do truly believe it is the 3rd greatest Christmas movie of all time. I have at number 3, Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale, also known as Joulupukki, which is a Finnish Christmas movie released in 2010.
Okay.
And it's about an evil Santa, but the whole thing that makes the story great is, in my opinion, the excellent use of the actual Nordic traditions.
Evil Santa.
The actual Nordic traditions involving the holiday, the origins of a lot of traditions, and they bring up a lot of excellent things that make the holiday better with Finnish traditions. Let me guess, you're gonna say you put this ahead of Elf? Why?
Well, I can't say that because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's true. But you said you'd never seen Gremlins.
Yeah, but
and you were complaining about me putting that ahead.
Yeah, but I know what Gremlins is, though.
Well, Rare Exports is got its funny moments. It's short and sweet, so that honestly already makes it better than a lot of movies on this list where I complain about the pacing. The effects are really good. There's some excellent acting by the main actor of the film. I can't remember his name, but he plays excellent. It's an excellent child performance, and I think it's just a solid horror movie. Besides being a really good Christmas movie, so that's why I have it at number 3. I enjoy it quite a bit, being Finnish myself. So my grandma even likes the movie. So, all right, Moving on to number 2. Again, you're gonna hate me for this, but
If it's Die Hard, I'm stabbing you.
well, get ready to stab me because number 2 is Die Hard.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie!
Well, hear me out on this because Die Hard is one of the most perfect action movies ever made. The
Yeah,
action
maybe
in
a
it
good
is
action movie,
fantastic.
but it's not a Christmas movie.
Wait. The action movie, it's one of the best action movies ever made. The action is fantastic. The writing is like superb. The comedy is genuinely hilarious throughout the movie. And it's all wrapped up in like Yuletide Christmas charm, which makes it even better in those regards. It just accentuates the movie even more. The fact that it's taking place during Christmas, there are some aspects of the story that are kind of gimmicky, but it totally makes up for it because it's a Christmas movie. You can tie it back to that point, and it totally works. The action in it is fantastic. John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, is one of the best heroes in any movie ever. The writing, again, I can't stop saying the writing is superb in the movie. There are so many quotable lines. It's amazing. I truly love Die Hard, and it is a Christmas movie because if it takes place, this is my idea here. If it takes place during Christmas, if it has Christmas involved in the plot, if the entire sequential length of the movie takes place pretty much around Christmas, then it's a Christmas movie.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie.
Well, it's all up to personal opinion, and I say that it is, and it's a genuinely amazing movie. You should watch it if you haven't. It's just great. I love it. And before I go into my number 1 pick, I'm gonna name some honorable mentions that almost made my list. First, we have A Charlie Brown Christmas, which I really love. It's kind of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where it's quaint. It's not like a perfect movie or anything, but it's fun to watch around the holidays, and there's some quotable moments. I personally like The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown better. Have you seen Charlie Brown Christmas?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's a Christmas movie. I don't remember too much from it, and no, that was Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's not I don't remember much from it, but I liked it.
Okay. All right. Some other ones I have on here. I've got Die Hard 2, Die Harder, which is also a Christmas movie because the entire thing takes place during Christmas. I don't love Die Hard 2 as much as the first one, but there are some genuinely great moments in it. The villain is a lot more scary and more threatening in the second one, and the stakes are more raised in the second one, which bring the action to somewhat more of a more hard to watch level for sure because of the plane crash being a part of the plot. Other honorable mentions, we got Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I like Home Alone 2 a lot. I just didn't want to put it on the list because I didn't have any other sequels, so I didn't want the sequel to take up the spot on the list. Trump is in Home Alone 2, by the way.
He is.
And he has a great line, too.
Down the hall and to the left.
Thank you. The concierge, played by Tim Curry, is hilarious in that movie. I think there's maybe a few things that are far-fetched in that movie. But it's funny.
Have you seen the Vsauce video where he scientifically goes through the Home Alone stuff?
The injuries? Or?
Yeah,
oh.
And has a dummy and stuff.
I've not seen that. That sounds like a good video, actually.
Yeah, and then he just basically shows how they would die every time.
Home Alone 2, I like it, and you like it too?
Yes.
Yep.
I would put it on my top 10 for sure.
Okay. All right. I have also my honorable mentions Krampus, which I watched for the first time this year. I like it a lot. I think there are some parts to it that are
I just
kind
have
of dumb.
memories from it. I've never seen it,
but when it was trailers for it and stuff.
Yeah, and
Santa Claus is coming. Yeah.
Evil Santa.
Yeah, we have another Evil Santa in that movie. There are some genuinely really hilarious moments though in that movie, and the sound design and the creature effects in that movie are great too. Santa's Sleigh is my last honorable mention. It was the movie I mentioned before that like kind of is funny, but it does take too much advantage of like the comedy of it all and basks in it a little too much. But it is funny. Bill Goldberg is in it, the WWE wrestler, as Santa, and it's stupid, but it's very entertaining. And if you want to watch a movie that you don't have to think about while you're watching for Christmas, watch that one. All right, enough said. Moving on to number one. My number one Christmas movie, in my opinion, this movie is pretty much perfect. There's nothing you can say about it that is like bad, and that's Home Alone.
Oh, thank you.
I love Home Alone so much. There's so many things about it that I love.
I would put it at number 2.
Because you put Elf at
Because I put Elf at number 1.
But
like, I'm not gonna argue that. It's something I slightly agree with.
I
mostly agree with.
I think Home Alone is literally a perfect movie. I watch it every year, and I get the same entertainment value about.
I watch it every year too. Like twice.
I think Macaulay Culkin is hilarious in it, and he gives like a performance that's like better than any child actor, most child actors would give. Joe
and
Pesci.
when they make Home Alone 3, they just decide to get rid of him.
Hey, don't even get me started on the sequels. We might make a worst Christmas movies list at some point.
Yeah.
Oh
because I think 3, 4, and 5 would all be on there.
Fifth one I've seen. I didn't think the fifth one was that bad, but 3 and 4, yeah, definitely I would save that rant for later for me.
Yeah.
The
only issue I have with Home Alone is that in the middle of the movie it gets kind of slow. That's the only issue.
Okay.
It's still interesting, but I just think it's kind of slow, and it's something that could be cut out.
Yeah, I could
or
see
like,
why.
It's
I could see what you
dragged
mean.
out a little.
I could see what you mean. I think like them consistently going back to the house and like, oh, there's people in the house. You know, like I know what you mean. Like
and then like keep going back to the airport and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I'll trade you my diamond earrings.
Oh, that scene's hilarious when the old man he's like she's already got a pair of a whole shoebox full, and like that guy's hilarious.
That part's funny, but like I think it's a little excessive.
Okay, all right. I think I would disagree, but I can see what your point there. It's a logical point. I love the music in Home Alone. The soundtrack is hilarious. Yeah. That's a horrible rendition, but
okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. Please do.
Save Yvonne so.
Moving on to other points I have about the movie. I really like the robbers and the whole like their characters.
Happy Hanukkah, Marv.
I think the stunts are fantastic. Especially the if you notice, I've never even noticed this until the last time I watched the movie. The blowtorch to the head scene. You know which one I'm talking about when he opens the door and it blowtorches his head. That's a dummy. They edited his face onto the dummy. It doesn't even look like fake or anything. Like I legitimately thought they like burned his head or like something that looked like his head for years, and it's a dummy. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I noticed about the movie last time I watched it was Old Man Marley, like the scary guy of the movie that ends up becoming the
shovel man.
Yes, that's hilarious too. That always makes me laugh every time when he walks into the store and he's standing there and
they
Buzz,
use a toothbrush.
Yeah, I love all those scenes. So, anyways,
Buzz annoys me,
but for a good reason.
That's the point. That's funny. Why he's there.
Have you ever noticed? Okay, whatever. I'll stop talking. We could do a whole video on Home Alone because how much I love it. But we'll end it there. Those are my top 10 Christmas movies. Feel free to disagree with me. I've already had a lot of disagreement on this side of the table throughout the entire video. Merry Christmas to anybody who's watching this, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video.
And turn on the notification bell. See you never. Bye.